Hey guys, welcome back. I am Angel and this is Angel Uncut. So today what I'm going to be making is chicken casserole. Not just any regular chicken casserole. The best chicken casserole I have ever had before in my life. This recipe I got a few years back on allrecipes.com. Okay. No, they're not sponsoring me. This is just legitimately where I got the recipe at. It is so good. Okay, so what you are going to need is, I get this, it's chicken breast tenderloins. And I usually cut them up into like chunks on this. And then I just kind of put them in this and I go ahead and fry them up. And of course I start my oven. I usually put my oven on 350. Yada yada, but we'll get into all of that. But the rest of the things that you really need is of course your chicken breast, okay? You're going to need like Ritz crackers, whatever. I get the off brand because it's a lot cheaper, so the Great Value brand. You need 2 cans. The reason why I say 2 cans is because it will make you enough if you've got like a family of 4. The recipe only calls for 1 can, but it doesn't give you enough to really fill up your casserole dish that good. So I always do 2 cans. Again, the Great Value brand because it's cheaper. It's a cream of chicken soup, 2 cans of that. And then you want to get, let's see, cottage cheese, small curd. I think that's how you say that. Because it calls for a cup of this. You want some cream cheese, okay? And then you need to make sure that you have some sour cream is what you need to make sure that you have, okay? You also need garlic powder and onion powder, okay? Is what you need. Okay, so again, one more time, you need the chicken breast tenderloins to cut up in chunks. You need 2 cans of condensed chicken soup. You need your Ritz crackers. You need some garlic powder and some onion powder. And you need cream cheese. You need cottage cheese. And you need sour cream. Okay? So that's all the ingredients that you're going to need for this meal. Okay? And a casserole dish. So if you don't have a casserole dish and you don't really want to purchase a casserole dish, you could always like go to the dollar store that's usually right down the road from everyone's home. And they have the little tin casserole dishes, you know what I'm talking about? That's usually like $1 or $2. Get you one of those. Those will work just fine too. Okay, so the first thing I'm doing is I'm going to wash my hands because I'm not touching any food or anything that's going in my mouth without washing my hands. So that's what I'm doing first. Okay. Now we are going to start cutting this chicken up. Okay, so let's open this. Always cut away from you, never cut towards you. That's a huge safety thing right there because you could end up stabbing yourself, not really meaning to. I don't think that they make chicken like they used to, but this is boneless, you know, chicken. I'm just gonna kind of cut it in chunks here. Okay, you don't want them no bigger than this right here, okay? So just chunks. Fat is awful on some of this. I always have the hardest time cutting chicken. It's like stringy and fat. I don't know why. Some of the fat sometimes I just kind of cut off. do the best you can. Alright, so now after you get your chunks cut, you just kind of want to toss them in your little, I guess, I don't know what kind of pan that is, like a saucepan or something, a big open saucepan. That's what I usually do with it. Ooh, this chicken's cold. It's freezing my fingers. After you cut your chicken, you really want to wash your hands again too, because you know, cross-contamination is not good. That's really how people get salmonella and stuff. So always make sure you wash your hands before and after, you know, dealing with chicken, okay? And never use the same things that touch the raw chicken either. So like this will go in the sink and so will my knife. I will not reuse those, okay? Oosh, my hand's getting really cold. If you touch your faucet, use your knuckles. That way you're not touching, you know, the raw chicken bacteria to your faucet. And if you're always nervous, like if you touch your faucet after dealing with raw chicken, you can always wipe it off with like an antibacterial wipe, or you can spray it off with an antibacterial spray and wipe it off, or Lysol, etc., etc. The reason you kind of want to cut this in chunks is so you have a good, you know, spread out area of chicken where you're not just getting chicken in one spot in your casserole dish, you know. That way you're getting to taste chicken in whatever scoop you get out of the casserole dish. And when you cut up chicken like this, it gets it cooked quicker and thorough. You know, you want it cooked all the way through. Okay. So. And if it's smaller chunks, then of course it's going to cook quicker and it's going to cook thorough. It's going to cook all the way through. Your chicken should be white. You know, after you've cooked your chicken, it should be a white color. You know, you should not see any light pink at all. You know, we're not only cooking this on the stove, but we're also going to be cooking this in the oven as well, which I should have reminded y'all. Before you really start cutting your chicken and stuff up, I'm going to use my knuckle, but I'm going to preheat my oven to 350. That way, my oven will be good and ready when it's time for me to put my chicken and stuff in there. Because you don't want to sit and have to wait, you know, on your oven to preheat while you've already got your casserole ready, you know. Whoosh, my fingers get cold. Like ice. Ice, ice, baby. I try to cut around like that little white fat piece there. I don't like to get that. I don't know, I think it's just a weird piece I see in like every piece of chicken. I don't know why. Oosh, my fingers are cold. Oh. They get too cold. This is set out, you know, and thawed, but it's still stiff, almost like, it's almost like half of it's still kind of frozen. Even though I've let it set out for, you know, a good bit. Not enough to ruin or, you know, be nasty, but it's set out long enough to kind of thaw out. And it's still not all the way thawed out. I do like it when it is still kind of a little frozen because it's so much easier to cut. Same thing with like beef tips. You know, if you are working with beef tips, which I love beef tips and gravy, you know, you kind of want them just a little bit frozen too because they're easier to cut. You know, I know beef tips are already in chunks, but I cut mine again because it makes them more tender and it doesn't take as long to cook them. Of course, I still cook them all day, but it makes them more tender if you cut them up in smaller pieces, which I love to do. I'm trying to hurry so y'all are not like sitting here watching me just cut this up all day. If you get bored of sitting here watching me cut this, you could always just fast forward through this part. But I'm trying to hurry without like cutting myself. You always want to make sure you also have a good knife too. You know, you don't want a dull knife. We got the thyme and staple knives. And this one blade on here, I really love this knife. It's my good cutting knife. Some of this that's fallen out, it's harder to cut. Some of this I'm cut like this. About filled up my pot over here. Fingers are cold. It's frozen. Gosh, it's so much better to cut. I know y'all seen that. The one that's like thawed out more, it's more mushy, so it's harder to cut. Oh, last one, thank goodness. It does take a while, but this is very worth it, like in the end, you know. I remember back when I was a new wife, I did not really know how to cook, honestly. And what really helped me learn how to cook was reading the backs of boxes and bags. I know it sounds crazy, but that's what really helped me when I turned 18 and moved out, all that. I learned how to cook by reading the back of boxes and bags. And then, of course, when you get the new cell phone and internet, I would start getting online, looking up some things that I thought that I would like too. So that's the allrecipes.com. That's also where I got my meatloaf recipe too. It is so good. Okay, so I'm going to throw away this fat and this cardboard. I just kind of put my fat in this, that way I'm not wasting any time. Put that in there, throw this away, and then I'll wash my hands, because you don't want to wash your hands and then throw this away. Alright, so now I'm going to wash my fingers. Really good. You know, you want to get under your nails, everything. Best you can. In between your fingers. I always tell my kids, fingertips. You know, get your fingertips. That's what you do. You touch everything with your fingertips. Okay, so hands are clean. I am going to put my oven, hang on, let me adjust the camera. This is my tea, y'all. I still need to put it in a container, but I'm gonna put this on. We're just going to say, I'm gonna put it on 3.5, so maybe like mid-heat, I guess you can say. And while this is going, we're going to go ahead and do our mixture in a bowl, okay? So get you a mid-sized bowl, maybe a medium or large bowl, and then get all your ingredients and we'll start mixing. All right, I've got my little bamboo bowl here. I'm going to go ahead and open these up and put these in. If you can't get them in, you could always just go and get you a spoon. Looks like I got out most of it. Put my can back in. Open this one up. Now you can always get you a spoon and kind of scrape it out. What is that? Probably shavings off the camera. Hold on. Okay, so now we've got our cream of chicken soup in there. Okay. Get your onion and your garlic powder. And okay, it tells you to do like a little, hang on, let me get my measuring spoon. If you want to do it by this, you can, but I do it differently. Okay. It told me to do, I believe it was a 1/4 teaspoon. Okay. So yeah, a little 1/4 teaspoon is what it usually tells me to do. But it's so hard to kind of get it in there. So what I usually do is I just, hang on. I don't know why. Some of my spices I use them all the time. But they stick sometimes. I just kind of sprinkle it in there, okay? That's what I do. It tastes good. It works. You can't even tell the onion powder is really in it. So those of you who maybe don't like onion powder, don't worry about it because I can't even tell it's in it, okay? And garlic powder, again, with the garlic powder, you cannot even tell that it's in it. So don't worry about being like, well, I don't really like garlic powder. You can't taste it, okay? We'll stir this chicken up really quick. Make sure it's going here. Right, now we've got our cream of chicken soup and we've got our garlic and our onion powder. Let's go ahead and get our cottage cheese, sour cream, and cream cheese. Okay. All right, so this is where I kind of measure sour cream, cottage cheese, cream cheese. What is that put up? Okay. So I get just a cup. It's just 1 cup, okay? And then I put sour cream. You do a cup of sour cream. You use just close to 1 full thing of this. Is what it feels like. Okay. I have enough still for tacos this week, so it feels like I might have enough for tacos this week. If not, I can always go back and buy more because we love sour cream here. Okay, put your cup in here. Okay, and then we never really eat cottage cheese here, so if I use half of this or the whole thing, it doesn't really matter. It don't matter if I really get anything in this either. So I'm just gonna use the same thing. I'm gonna scoop it out with the cup, okay? You use almost this whole thing anyways. I can get it off. All right. Just gonna kind of scoop this in there. Okay, 1 scoop. It's okay if it's a little more. Again, if you don't like cottage cheese, don't worry about it. You will not taste it. I do not like cottage cheese. I think it's weird looking. I'm a very picky person, so, but don't worry about it. I promise you, you will not taste it. If you do, I'm sorry. I don't know how, because I do not. Okay. That's in there. We're done with our measurements. Close this up. Now, a lot of times people use, I think, a half a thing of cream cheese. Now the cream cheese, you do taste in it a little bit. The main thing you taste in this is the crackers, a little bit of the cream cheese, and the chicken, okay? But it's really good. It's a lot of really great flavors. So it tells you to let your cream cheese sit out so it will be soft, but I'm so worried about like things going bad. So I literally don't take mine out of the fridge until the time I'm making it, okay? So what you want to do is I always put this on last. That way my chicken's good and hot when I put it in this bowl, because we're going to put our chicken in this bowl too. That way that hot chicken will kind of not really melt the cream cheese, but kind of make it smoother where it's not so clumpy, you know, and make it to where it's not so stiff, so it'll kind of like melt down, I guess you could say, in the bowl. So go ahead and open this. Of course, they make this child-proof. Why wouldn't they? Jeez. My gosh. All right. Technical difficulties here. I make it child-proof, y'all. I'm just getting a knife and kind of opening it with a knife. All right. So with this, yes, it's going to be a little messy, but kind of cube it. Make like little bites, okay? And put it all in. The reason you want to do like small little, you know, chunks here is so it'll melt in the oven and kind of make all of it really creamy. That's why we use cream cheese in this. It's to make it creamy and taste really good. I do love cream cheese, so it does not bother me to eat plain cream cheese by itself. So for those of you who do not like cream cheese, I would recommend maybe using half a block of cream cheese so you don't taste it as bad. But I always use the whole thing because I love cream cheese, and so does my whole family. So it's so messy. Yeah, I know it sounds crazy what I'm doing now, but I promise it really helps when it comes time to, you know, put this in the oven. It'll all be separated and it's all not in one big clump. Because if it's in one big clump in your casserole dish, then you're only gonna taste that cream cheese in one spot of your casserole dish. And you don't want to do that. So the reason why I'm mainly doing these like cook with me videos is because I do remember what it was like, you know, being a new mom, a new wife, and not knowing how to cook. And I really do wish there was someone that like made these videos and broke down things for me, so it would be like a lot easier to learn how to do these things and really good, you know, good food. Because if you think about it, you're saving a lot of money when you cook at home. Okay, let's think about this. My grocery bill that I just spent was $220. Okay, $220. Again, that's for 4 people and that's for the entire week. Okay, that's groceries a week, $220, and that's if you're out of a lot of stuff. For me, we do Walmart Great Value. Now, if you go out to eat every single day with a family of 4, even McDonald's, Taco Bell, whatever, in 2 days at McDonald's or Taco Bell, we would be spending over $80 in 2 days at Taco Bell or McDonald's. And that's fast food, you know. But if you're cooking at home, usually the food's a lot healthier, and sometimes you'll have leftovers too. So that's something to really, you know, really think about. The money that you save from cooking at home. All right, now I'm going to wash my hands again. Again, I use my knuckles to turn on the faucet. That way I don't get cream cheese all over the faucet. Hands off. And now that we've got all our ingredients in here, I'm going to put these up because I will not need them anymore. Okay. And we are going to check on our chicken. Okay, so it's still pink. So we still got some time. I see it starting to turn white here. If you look, some of it's starting to do white. You want it all white, okay? Shoot, I really didn't want to touch it and have to wash my hands again, but I guess I'll have to. Right. Yeah, all of this needs to be white. Okay, wash my hands again. Okay, so now you want to get you a separate bowl, okay? I love my bamboo bowls. I don't know why. I do. I have normal mixing bowls. This is just always what I choose to get. Right. So, you want to get your crackers. All right. And I usually do, I think it's like 2, sometimes 2.5 rows of crackers, okay? But we're going to start out with 2 because I just kind of want to see what it looks like here. So you're going to open them up. And this is where it gets fun, okay? So, you ever been mad at someone and kind of wanted to crush their head in because you were so mad at them? Yeah, let's do that with these crackers. So, get your crackers and you're going to just crush them. Yes. Okay. We're just going to crumble up all of them. Yes. It's okay if there's like little chunks in it. It's all right. It's all going to taste good and it all goes down the same way. So, go this way. I am messy. Open this one up. Yes, yes, yes. All right. Now, I'm going to rinse my hands off here. I'll probably go ahead and wash them because sometimes that buttery rounds, it's kind of greasy. So probably the oil in the cracker or something, whatever they use. I wash my hands a lot. I don't like my hands to be dirty or nasty. Just something that happens when you get older, I guess. You just can't stand for your hands getting nasty. Make sure you're kind of stirring your chicken up as you go too. You know, check on your chicken, stir it up, whatever. So, that's what I'm doing right now. It looks like it's getting more white. All right, so now we've got this and we've got this. I'm gonna leave one more pack out, like just in case. But this should be enough. But if not, it's fine. Don't be scared to make more crackers because you always can. If you've got a whole box, of course. Alright, so now we're going to get a bowl, maybe about this size right here. Okay, just kind of a small but deep kind of bowl. So that tells you like how deep. And you want to get some butter and put in it. Okay. I recommend Bluebonnet. Again, the reason why is because I have high cholesterol. And this shows that it has 0 milligrams of cholesterol per serving. So, and no hydrogenated oils. I don't know if I even said that right. But either way, it's a big tub. It tastes good. And I just cannot have my cholesterol any higher than it is. We'll end up stroking out over here. I've been trying to watch what I do, watch what I eat. A lot of red meats actually cause your cholesterol to go up, you know. And me, I love my steak, I love my beef tips, stuff like that. So here lately, I've been trying to do chicken, turkey. I actually tried to order a turkey to cook and stuff in the slow cooker, but it did not come in the right way. I guess I ordered it the wrong way because it come in turkey like deli slices. All right, I think that's good. Okay, so I think I did like 3 or 4 scoops, you know. And what you want to do is you want to melt this in the microwave. Okay, stirring my chicken up again. Trying to get it all cooked really good. So let's put this in the microwave. I'm going to put it in there for about 30 seconds. And then we're going to check it. Okay, so after 30 seconds, you might want to kind of pull it out and stir it up and then put it back in for 30 more seconds. Because you want it melted really good, but like you don't want all the butter gone and evaporated, you know? So just kind of stir it up some because you want it liquidy. Come on, get off my spoon there. All right, best I could get. 30 more seconds. Okay, so now I've got my butter melted. Okay, it's melted pretty good. It's liquidy. Okay, and I'm just going to get this out of the way. Pour it in my crackers. Okay. All right, I did like half of it in here. And then I'm going to kind of just mix it up in my crackers. Because we want them moist. We don't want them soggy. We just kind of want them a little buttery moist. Okay. Okay. Looks good. Don't want them soggy. I'm trying to bring the one that's not, some of them that's like looks dried out up to the top. Stir it up again. Even if some of them do kind of get a little soggy, it's all right. They will dry out in the oven. Okay, I promise. This looks pretty good, but I'm just gonna go ahead and, that was the right amount of butter, I feel like. Looks really good. So again, what, 3 or 4 scoops of butter, melted, put in here. You can also do, if you're ever like doing a dessert, you could get like Graham crackers and you could crumble them up and melt butter and make your own homemade graham cracker crust for like a dessert, like a pie or something. If you don't feel like doing that, then you could always just use Pillsbury. So, all right, this is done. I'm going to put this in the sink. Throw this away. This is ready. That's ready. Now let's check on our chicken. Okay. All right, it is smoking. So I'm going to stir this up. Ooh, I love the smell of cooked chicken, which might be weird for some people, but it smells really good to me. Want to make sure that there is no pink in your chicken at all, okay? It all needs to be white before you put it in the oven, okay? Okay, so it looks like most of this is white. I'm not really seeing any more pink. Seeing any more. So I'm going to go ahead and put it in my bowl. Yeah. It's okay if there's liquid in it. Just put it in there. It'll be fine. You don't have to drain your chicken. Well, I don't anyways. I'll just put it all in there. Okay. Dropped a piece. So now that chicken in the bowl will go and it will kind of help melt the cream cheese in there. So that's really what we want it to do. I don't know if melt is the right word, but it'll kind of make it to where it's creamy and not chunky. And that's really what we want. And that's why I put the cream cheese in last before putting this chicken on top. So that chicken kind of heats up that cream cheese and, again, like I said, makes it creamy. You just really kind of want to mix it up. This might have too much liquid in it. I don't know. I don't remember ever draining my chicken before, so. I might drain a little bit of it out, just the water. You can tell the difference in like the water in it or than the other stuff, so just a little bit. Alright, that's a lot better. But now you just want the yellow soup mix mixed up with the cream cheese and the chicken. This is why you need like a medium to a large bowl. If you can't tell, I've got this kind of to the rim here. So you might want a bigger bowl than what I've got. I just kind of pull it over and fold it in. You want to make sure you want to get all that mixed up really good. Because if not, then you'll taste too much of one thing in one spot. You know what I'm saying? And you want it all to be like evenly proportioned, where you taste all of it, not just one thing in one spot in your casserole dish. Okay. Ooh, I'm spilling it. All right, it looks like it's pretty good to me. Yeah. Yep. All right. So now I'm just going to pour this in my casserole dish. My casserole dish, and we're just going to pour it in. See, and this is a really good moment. Like, if you don't feel like you mixed it up good enough, it's okay, because the bottom is going to become the top. So just kind of scrape it out to the best of your ability. Make sure you get everything that you can. Okay. And then you just kind of smooth it out in your casserole dish. Make it even. Okay. I've got like I couldn't tell you the size of my casserole dish, but like, here's my arm. Okay. So you can imagine. You go to Walmart or wherever and you're wanting to buy one. It's the size of my forearm, okay? I think that's actually where I got this at. It had like a red plastic lid to it, but I ended up accidentally breaking the red plastic lid. So the lids to these specific casserole dishes, they suck. So if you want to get better ones, I would recommend it. But this is a really good casserole dish, just the lids suck. It looks pretty good, evenly proportioned out here to me. So, all right. I'm gonna rinse my hands off, and then we're going to put crackers all over this, the buttery crackers that we mixed up. Okay. Spoon. Just kind of shake this along here. I'm gonna just kind of shake out all along the top. It don't have to be perfect. Just want it to kind of cover the top of it. Again, like I said, if you don't have enough, you can always make more of this. If you got you a box of crackers. Hello, hello. I'm making some chicken casserole. Yeah. You gonna make you a pot pie?
I'm gonna get you one of the roast beef and potatoes.
Ah. She's not a fan of cream cheese, and like I told y'all, you know, if you like cream cheese like I do, I put the whole thing in it, so she's not a fan of cream cheese. You can taste the cream cheese in this meal. So, there's that. I think I made just enough crackers. That's what it looks like. You need a bowl over here, Mama?
Yeah. Well, no, I've got, my roast beef has got one of those things in it.
Oh, okay.
I need a glass, so some ice.
Ice, baby. Again, vanilla ice. So yeah, about 2 things of crackers really did it, you know. You really just want the whole top pretty well covered, okay? That's why you don't want it soggy, like too soggy, too buttery, because then you kind of can't smooth it out on here. It's just too clumped together, you know? So you just really want to make sure it's not too soggy. Again, it will dry out in the oven, but like I said, you know, it just makes it a lot easier to be able to put it on the top if it's not so soggy. I'm just trying to cover up all the bits and pieces of white that I see. That way it's evenly, you know, on here. It's okay if you miss some pieces of white. It's not going to kill anything. It's not going to hurt anything. I don't want to say that. Either way. Just do the best of your ability. I don't need a whole lot here. My hands are clean, y'all. You've seen me wash them 500 times. But this is clumpy because I've got it too buttery. And that looks really good. Alright, I did this to the best of my ability. Put a little bit of this here in this corner. Alright. So, now, this is what it should look like. Pretty good. It'll be a lot better when you bake it. Okay, so I put it in here for 350. Because remember earlier I set my oven to 350 to preheat. And then I set a timer for 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, this should be good and done. Everything should be melted. Everything should be cooked really good. It should all be heated up and it will taste delicious. Let's see. Okay, so the good thing also about this meal is while it is baking in the oven for 30 minutes, you know what you got time to do? You got time to finish up your tea that was on the stove, and you have time to do your dishes and throw them in the dishwasher. So that is exactly what I did. Dishes done in there. And yes, this is still broke. I don't know where these drawers are, but this is broke. We have to redo it anyway. So either way, dishes are done and I've got the tea done. So now, after I've got all that done, now I've only got 3 minutes and something until now my food's done. Gentlemen, this is what we like to call multitasking because we're really good at it, us women, you know. Okay, so it is now done. You need to not serve this because if you look really carefully, you could see this boiling. Okay, which is normal. You want to make sure all of the chicken gets done, all the food gets really well cooked, warmed up, and you need to make sure that your crackers are, you know, crunchy feeling. They don't feel, you know, moist and buttery anymore. They should be like a crunchy feeling, okay? So you need to probably wait. I would recommend about 10 minutes before serving this because if not, your children's mouth is going to be burning because it's still scalding hot. And you know, little kids, they want to hurry up and take a bite out of their food. But if you go ahead and serve them this, that's going to burn the roof of their mouth really, really bad. So I would recommend at least waiting a good 10 minutes before serving this. Okay, so I have now let it cool off and I am going to take my spoon in here and see what it looks like. Oh yeah. This looks so good. Yeah. It looks really, really good. It's going to look a little liquidy, but it is so good and so worth it. Okay, that is it. Thank y'all so much for joining me today on cooking the best chicken casserole ever. I hope you enjoyed the video and see you next time.